everybody. I have been on a real time travel fiction kick lately, so I thought I would show you some options for time travel or alternate universes or multiverse, whatever you want to go for with your fiction. And I pulled some adult titles and some teen titles, but I really think that all of them can be read by any age group. So I'll start out with this one by Owen Colfer, which is Warp, and it's the first in a series. This one's called The Reluctant Assassin, and it's about a government agency that's super secret, and it's the, I have to look it up, Witness Anonymous Relocation Program, which uses wormholes to take witnesses to crimes and relocate them to the past, which sounds like a way better idea than just like sending them to New Jersey or something, and giving them a new name. So if you hide someone in the past, it's a lot harder to find them. But somebody ends up coming through the wormhole the wrong direction, and it's a young boy from London who's basically being forced to murder for this guy who's sort of enslaved him. It's dark. But this is a lot of fun, and it is the first in a series. The second one, I just happened to have the second book in the series because the first one is checked out. And this is 10,000 Skies Above You by Claudia Gray. The first book is 1,000 Pieces of You, and yeah, just double checking that. There is this invention called the Firebird, and I think these are called the Firebird Chronicles, that let you travel to multiple universes. So this one has been really popular as well. The third one, which also deals with multiple universes or the multiverse, is Tandem by Anna Jarzab. And this one I think is just a duology, but I could be wrong. She might be writing another one. And again, the protagonist has to sort of slide into an alternate universe and become an alternate version of herself in order to prevent war. So that whole sort of universe for war thing. So that's the first one in that series. And then going to some adult titles that I really love. The first one is a little bit more like pop science, I guess. I mean, because I guess all of it would be pop science because nobody does time travel. It's not a thing. But we can make up stories about it. So I have loved Timeline since I was in high school. So this is by Michael Crichton. They did make a movie about it. It was kind of an unfortunate movie. It was pretty to look at, though, but it wasn't that great. Definitely read the book. It will make you feel super smart and like you actually understand quantum mechanics. I don't, but I feel like I do when I read this. So this one's a lot of fun. They get sent back to the 100 Years' War between England and France when everybody was fighting over bits of France that everyone else thought that they owned because Europe. I can't decide. The next one is a really fantastic, and don't be intimidated by how long it is. This book went so fast, and I loved it. It's Zero World by Jason Huff, I think. Could be Huff. I don't know. But in this one, they find a portal. So this is set in the future. He's an assassin, and he gets basically mind-wiped after every hit that he makes. So he doesn't remember any of the people that he's killed, which is a bonus, I guess, but you also lose most of your life. But he is sent through a portal that's discovered in space, and they find an alternate version of Earth, but it's called Gardine. And in this version of Earth, which I thought was really cool, is that it's basically run by, like, women have the power. It's not necessarily a matriarchal society, but women are deferred to. They walk first. They're the ones who make the decisions. And our protagonist, even though he's a super awesome hitman, accepts this and fits right in and follows the woman's lead. And I was like, I love you. But it's really fun. It's an extremely well thought out and well imagined world, and I would highly, highly recommend it. The last one is the most recent one that I've read, and I also adore it. It's Doomsday Book by Connie Willis. And this won both the Hugo and the Nebula Awards in the early 1990s. But it feels really fresh. Okay, so the print is really small. But it is about a future Oxford, so 2054. And instead of going to class to study history, you use their time travel machine and go back in history. But there are some historical times that are shut off because of the danger. So the Middle Ages is one of them because, I mean, you're going to get the plague, you're going to get, you know, swept up on some sort of bizarre crusade. Everything that you touch, if you cut yourself, you're going to get infected and die because their idea of cleanliness was like, let's put poop on things. Yeah, not a great place to go, but they do end up sending a scholar through. Her name is Kivrin, and she gets stuck there during the Black Plague, and at the same time, influenza shows up in modern, which would be 2054, London, well, not really London, UK, and starts decimating the population. So I actually read that when I was sick, and it made me feel a lot better about how sick I was, because at least I didn't have giant buboes growing under my arm and like spewing horrible fluids. So, but it's so well researched, and talks about a lot of the practical difficulties of time travel, like learning the actual language, which would be Middle English, which is not like the English that we speak today. It's ridiculous, because everybody and their mother basically invaded the British Isles, so the language is pretty interesting. But it's just fantastic, and it's the first in a series about the Oxford time travelers. So those are a few of my favorite time travel books. I'd be curious to know what else people enjoy reading about with time travel, and hopefully you'll check one of these out at the library.